Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our Wednesday night game dev and chill streams. Gonna keep it a quick stream tonight, probably just an hour or two. But we're getting back into some paper designing. For those newer to the channel or for those just popping into these Wednesday night things. Fluli, what are you doing up? Oh my goodness, I thought you were in bed. Hello? For those just popping into these things, I am a game developer professionally for several years now, but I do like to do some like personal stuff on stream and just like do fun projects and give myself a space to sandbox stuff and to do those like start a project and not always finish them type of deals. But we've been getting better about even though we're not necessarily building and publishing stuff, we've been better about like reaching a final point and reaching whatever our goal is and our milestone is for levels, actually completing those on stream with our stream projects. We made a portfolio piece last year. We released a few Fortnite creative maps over the past few months. So now the goal is I want to spend this year kind of looking at and remaking some arenas for Kid Icarus Uprising. We've already started work on one arena. For those that have played it, we've been working on Forgotten City. It's one of, I think, the average like light v dark arenas. And it also has like very basic geometry, so it was pretty easy. I think one of the fastest block out studies I've ever done. So it's a pretty quick one to block out, but we are going to be working on a slightly more challenging block out. It's a bit emptier, but the geometry pieces it does have are more complex, and we're likely going to have to work with the landscape right off the bat for this one. And the next map, the one voted by you guys, is Spiral Tower. If you don't know what that is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just an outdoor map and there's a big spiral tower at the end of it. So it's a pretty good like defense point for people to use in the arena modes. But we are going to start paper designing that, and then we will over the coming weeks, like my schedule for this is we'll paper design this week. Next week we'll do Blackout Pass 1. Which is just a rough gray box of it. The following week we'll do Blackout Pass 2 where we refine the blockout, add some additional cover that wasn't in the additional game to fit. We're remaking this in Unreal Engine 5's Lyra system because I'm not a programmer, I'm a level designer, so I don't like to touch all that code and stuff, so we're using an existing free system to do so. Though we might modify it to resemble Kid Icarus a bit more later in the year. But yeah, we will do a Blackout Pass 2 where we refine it and we add in some pickups and we try to refine some of the gameplay a little bit more and do a cover pass to fit the newer system better. And previously, I don't know why I thought this. This is why I like to do these game dev streams and just be completely transparent about what it means to be a young, I'm 25 now, I don't think I'm young anymore, but a young game developer, even though I have a few years in my career already. Just some days you're gonna have a brain fart, so I don't know why I thought as a game developer or a game designer and not an environment artist that I could do like an art pass in I think I gave myself 2 hours our last game dev stream, and I was like, yeah, we'll do a quick art pass in 2 hours. I don't know what I was thinking. We did get a lot of textures in, and looking back on it, I'm actually a lot more. It does look like the 3DS level now, which was what I originally intended. But I kind of want to make it prettier because the asset packs we have the capability to make them prettier if we put a few more weeks into it. So I do think we hit a good stopping point last stream. But we are likely going to focus on doing the design work for Spiral Tower this month, and in April we will be continuing to art pass both Spiral Tower and Forgotten City. So if you're wondering what the status on that is, and if you saw the last game dev stream and you're like, yeesh, you know, she certainly is no artist, or why was she trying to do all that in 2 hours? I thought I slept on it and I have a better game plan now. So That'll be the plan if you are more into you like watching the I remade this game in Unreal Engine 5 videos for how it looks visually. Then the content coming next month will be more up to speed. But if you're interested in the actual underlying design of it all, that's my specialty. So that's what we'll keep focusing on this month. You have college today? You're pitching your college project? Oh my lord. Good luck. You're gonna do great, Fluli. I want to say excellent. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Heatwave has still been hitting. I don't think it will affect our streaming plans because our streams for this weekend, for those curious, is we're going to be streaming Sims games all month, all Saturday, and we're going to be getting back into some Nintendo stuff at the end of the month on Sundays. But for this particular weekend, we are going to do Sims 1 on Saturday. Take Sunday off because I think I want to have like a date night instead that day and just chill. So we'll be taking this Sunday off, but that's also because we'll be doing a stream on Monday. I believe I have Monday off of work. If that changes, if they say actually JK you don't, we're moving the date around or something, the Elden Ring date will either move up or back in coordinates with that. But currently, as far as I know, I have St. Patrick's Day off, which is on Monday, so I have no other plans currently. So we're going to do an Elden Ring stream on Monday. I may, halfway through the stream, mix up a little concoction for myself. We may have some buzzed Elden Ring, not drunk Elden Ring. I want to be safe. And I want to try to beat some stuff, but perhaps some buzzed Elden Ring is on the table for Monday's stream, if you have been keeping up with those. I am in the Midwest, so there's supposed to be a bunch of bad storms coming through Friday, and it says Saturday. I think I'm out of the storm window by like Saturday morning even, so I think streams this weekend will go on, unless like it really does a lot of damage around here and like internet's down, which is possible. Then we might have to push streams back a weekend, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think the stream schedule will be affected. But if so, I've got Discord on my phone, so I will keep you all updated if the internet is out this weekend. Hopefully not, though, because I want to play some Sims 1 again. Need to tinker with your presentation. And then you did it and you're not sleepy anymore. Oh, I do hate that when you get an adrenaline rush from homework and then you're like, well, now I don't know what to do. Play The Sims. That's always my go-to. But yeah, it's been good. I believe you were here when I talked when I talked about on Saturday stream. But for those that did not see this weekend of streams, especially I think one of the VODs got a little choppy, like our Sims 4 VOD. I don't know what happened. I think it was OneDrive on my computer acting up in the background, so it was the quality's a little bad, and unfortunately some of the most exciting parts of our Sims 4 stream on Sunday are like really choppy and almost slideshowy. It's not like that for the whole VOD, but especially near the end, it suffers from some of that, tragically. But if you saw the VODs earlier in the week, you may know this news already, but my current place of employment, I work at a little company called Affray, and they just put out a new update for their game, SCP-5K. It is in early access, but some of my level design work is in there. The Antarctica mission in that game was completely overhauled, so I got to make new content for that area, and even work on handling the combat events for the big finale, which I won't spoil too much, but I figured I'd bring it up again since this is the level design stream. That was definitely, I think, the big highlight. Yeah, I don't know what OneDrive's been doing in the background, but it's especially, I think it's doing something. I think all the caches for my Sims games, for my my personal game dev work, and then for my Premiere Pro work, I think they're all going to different places than where I told them to go on my new PC. So now there's like some conflicts and stuff since it's a few months in. Like my storage isn't full, but there's just like conflicts on where there's going. So I think that may be why my computer was having some issues, and like because Sims 4 apparently is one of those issues. So that's why it might have been starting to struggle once we booted up Sims 4 and stream at the same time. So I will look into that again before we stream Sims 1. I do think Sims 1 shouldn't be as affected. I didn't notice any issues with streaming Sims 1 last time, as well as also, as I was saying, oh, I have it on Steam instead of EA, and sometimes the EA app is frustrating, so we shouldn't have performance issues on Saturday, but again, that could all be out the window if we have bad weather. Sims 2, I noticed we did have some performance issues last time, but I'm hoping that some of the patch notes will take care of that, but that's for the following weekend. But yeah, just a quick look. I won't spoil it all for y'all, but these are the areas featured. Got to work on some fun finale stuff. I got to work on an area that had both a fun interior and a fun exterior. Both were tailored for like lore and mission stuff as well as combat stuff, so it kind of just hit all of the boxes of things I was really looking forward to design in a game release again. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to work on. I need to like recondense down. I think all of my portfolio stuff I have set up. When you go, my main portfolio is all bullet points, so recruiters like look at it and they're like, I understand what she did, but because they only look at it for like 2 seconds, so it's condensed enough on the main portfolio page. But for like designers that are like, well, what did she actually do, I have devlogs on more stuff. I think I might condense it down even a bit more for each of these in the future. I think in the summer I might update my portfolio sizzle reel again, and also do another pass of my whole portfolio site to make it squeaky clean. But for now, I figured I'd update it with a page for 5K, because I not only worked on 0.16, but I've been here since 0.15, baby. I've been designing. I didn't really design any brand new areas, more so like rearranged and add additional rooms to some stuff in area 12. Was still a lot of fun reworks that I got to do. It felt like designing new areas by the end of it. So that's what I've been up to professionally. The other super cool thing, y'all heard me stressing last week about because I haven't wanted to go to a concert since I was like a teenager. The last concert I went to was 21 Pilots for their Blurry Face tour. You might be thinking, oh, Trenched, or like, I don't even know what their recent albums are. I'm a fake fan. I'm like, no, Blurry Face tour. And I didn't even buy those tickets. So I have gone to a lot of like Broadway shows and like musicals because I'm a fan of those. My family's a fan of those. I haven't been to a concert since I was a teen, so I really wanted to go to Sabrina Carpenter's. They all got sold out, and then they were all super expensive. So I kind of treated it like the stock market. I'm like, okay, if they hit retail price, which is still really expensive, but retail price is like $275. I'm like, if I see any resale tickets on StubHub or Ticketmaster like hit that in any cities, like I might just grab them. Otherwise, I was planning on like waiting until like a couple months out of the US states for the end of the year. I saw retail price, they're side view ones, granted, but I found retail price ones. A good Samaritan must have bought for multiple dates and was like, I don't want to like scalp, I don't want to upsell. and make like $2 billion on this. They were like, I'm just gonna resell it at the same price I got it. Some good Samaritan. It was like everything else was listed like worse views. Like it's not a great view, but there are worse like views in the stadiums, I think. For like $800 nosebleed tickets is insane. So yeah, someone was just like, no, I'll just put them at retail price, and I happened to see it. It was the middle of the night, so I got them. Your girl's going to one of the shows at the end of the year. I also wanted to go because I've actually never been to a pop concert, and I'm like, I'm gonna be 26 by the end of the year, and I'm like, if I want to be a girly girl and go to a pop concert and feel youthful for like a concert, Sabrina stuff, I don't know why people take their kids. She's very explicitly singing about adult stuff, right? So I'm like, if I want to feel youthful but also like go to a concert not intended for kids that's pop themed, like this gotta be the chance. So I'd still have to figure out travel around them, and I could still always resell them if like stuff doesn't end up working out travel wise, if I end up busy with something more important then, right? But I was so worried about, I just wanted the chance to go to a concert, and I have it. Do I listen to Olivia Rodrigo? Yes! I was actually so invested in like the drama, the love triangle between like Joshua, Olivia, and Sabrina. And I was always on the side of like, I don't really think I don't think anyone's really fully in the wrong in that love triangle. They were all just teenagers that like publicized like their entire love lives, so of course things were gonna get messy, right? But I'm also a fan of Olivia Rodrigo. I think I like Sabrina's aesthetic like a lot more, but I've been listening to Olivia as well. I think she's been teasing a third album apparently, so that'll be exciting. And Ariana Grande is gonna drop Eternal Sunshine Deluxe at the end of the month. Oh, I'm not a Taylor Swift pop girly, but I'm also like not a super like indie pop girly, so I fall in the in-between of like, I haven't heard every single pop song, but I fixate on a few modern ones that I really like. Oh, you have Guts and Sour as CDs? Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I think my favorite, it's mainstream, but I really like Vampire a lot. I think I enjoyed Guts a little bit more than Sour. I think Sour definitively has more bangers and is the classic, but I really liked listening to Guts on loop. You're making me wanna binge that album again. But yeah, let me start working on the paper design stuff while I keep yapping about pop girly music here. But yeah, Kid Icarus Uprising. So these are some reference photos my cousin actually got me. Shout out to Cup Drinker on YouTube if you like watching someone better at Elden Ring than me play Elden Ring. And also, if he's watching, sometimes I'll randomly click on your videos, man, because he's my cousin. Sometimes I'll randomly click on your videos and I hear you talking shit about me. He'll be like, my cousin can't play this game. I'll be like, oh, what? He's right, but dang, on the internet for everyone to see. But yeah, shout out to him for he has a modded 3DS, so he actually went in and got a lot of really good like screenshots of the levels for me to work on. I do have the level pulled up right next to me on my 3DS, but I don't have a capture card for it yet. So I've just been kind of working off of exclusively like any low quality videos I can find, because not many people play this game anymore, because not many people have a modded 3DS or a 3DS with a capture card. Especially now that 3DS stuff has been kind of taken offline. So these are huge. Reference photos are very, very important for the concept stage of any game project. So we're able to do that now because of this. But as you guys can tell from the photos, Spiral Tower is exactly as said. It is a big ol' spiral tower. It's kind of set up like, what is it? Sea salt rig? Sea spray rig? I just remembered the name before this, but the Splatoon 1 map where, you have two spawns, like, separated out from each other and kind of elevated, one on, like, the left, one on the right, and then they meet in the middle. And then further inside in the middle is like an elevated point that's like really good to defend and stuff. So this kind of has a similar design. It's not as symmetrical as Splatoon maps are, because it's not turf war, right? It is an arena like battle mode, but turf war has a lot of things that really require it. It's competitive, right? So it really requires those to become more and more symmetrical as time goes on. These are just kind of fun, like bonus mode arenas, right? No one's playing this competitive, I believe. So hence why like the asymmetricalness of it adds a little bit of charm. But yeah, you've got kind of these like elevated, it's an exterior like mountainy rock, like everything's just different types of rock and brick textures and dirt, which I'm sure we can find a bunch of those and get some mega scans and stuff. But yeah, it kind of, one of the spawns is elevated up and then it ramps down. We also have like this little water you can run through. I believe it has no effect in the game here. However, there are hot springs in the main campaign that you can stand in and heal in. And I've worked on arenas previously on separate titles that have used water as like a disadvantage or an advantage for the player in arena modes. So I think one change we want to make here for the Lyra version is to make the water healing / hot spring. So that way it still fits in line with the tone of the game. It's still, you're still going to be making, we're still going to make an element of the original game, like, potent in here, and make sense with the environment, but it is a change from the original arena, I believe. Unless, I mean, I have it pulled up. Let me walk over to the water right now and see if it does anything for me. I'm not seeing any healing action. It's very, very shallow water. It's more like you're walking on a water texture, actually. You don't actually... Your feet don't even sink into the water, you just walk on it. But I think I want to make it just slightly shallow for you to sit in. And then yeah, there's, other than that and a few like landscapey things, there's the tower in the center, and it just, there is a point with a literal like flag at the top. It doesn't do anything gameplay wise, but I had so much fun thinking and pretending I was defending the point here. Once you get to the top of the tower, it has a clear shot of like everything, but it also doesn't have any cover up there, so if someone has like a long range weapon, sure, you can snipe them, but they could also snipe you from behind cover that they have on the ground. So it's a decent balance up here. However, you may be able to tell, you may not be able to tell unless you've actually played the map. But you can tell here in this screenshot, the spirals here, it's actually like another destroyed landmark. So the spirals don't actually fully connect to each other. There's like missing pieces that were carved out of them. And how you actually get to the top is, I believe it's right in here. There is a jump pad that you can use to jump up to this level, and then you can run to the top. And I think there's 2 jump pads. There's one hidden in here. I think there's one on this side here that will put you directly on the flag, so that way you can't spawn camp a single jump point, right? There's 2 ways to access the top. Now here's the problem. Lyra as is, without alterations, the AI is not going to do that. The AI kind of sucks as is. So that means that currently the AI in Lyra does not like to use jump pads. Even when you try cheating it with the nav, they just don't want to. A dab? There you go, Fluly. Yeah, they just don't feel like it. They just don't feel like using it, and I've been trying to find a workaround for this for probably like a year, probably over a year, like when I first started using Unreal and first used Lyra. So yeah. Even in the professional sense, like I've asked my professional like coworkers and stuff what they think, and they're like, Lyra, and why I'm using it is really great if you are like an environment or world building person and you don't want to touch the gameplay at all, and you just want to explore space and have some AI running around to give a conceptual idea or to showcase something in a portfolio piece. Like, it worked well to grab a few like sizzle reel moments for my portfolio video, and to show I was still actively making arenas in my free time while I was laid off. But as like a, would I publish it with Lyra? No. I would not. If you have anything you want to change gameplay wise and you're thinking, oh, it must be a simple value you change, it's a nightmare. That's my personal experience. That's what I've heard professionally, is it's just a pain to alter. And I've even learned like some of the pickups and stuff, they're broken. They just didn't finish them and they're broken. They're there as a template for you to fix if you want to. I don't want to though. So that's my Lyra disclaimer and spiel. I will keep using it and complaining about it in the future because it is really good as is. But I am reaching the point of development where I want this to feel a bit more like the 3DS game, and that is going to require some investigation, long nights, and a little bit of coding. And probably a little bit of copium. So we will see, but I do hope to make some changes to this as we continue developing and remaking some of these arenas. So right now, I think the solution would be to go ahead and when we do the first block up pass next week, we'll make it a BSP so we can take chunks out of it later. But we're going to make the spiral go all the way to the top, essentially, so that the AI has a path to use. I still want to maybe carve this out so that there's a jump pad for players to use to jump up to the top. Yeah, other than that, I think that's really the biggest thing, is we're dealing with landscape. I want to make, we'll have to add additional cover, which I think we can given all the rocks here, do like a rock cover pass. I think it will actually be easier to do a cover pass on this map than it will be for our previous and slash current art pass one with Forgotten City. Just because Forgotten City, I was like, man, like what pieces. We ended up going with debris is like the obvious answer for what we want to put in there, but still some of these I'm still going back and forth on, like, where should the cover be placed. There's some like narrow areas, but there's really not like good places without sightlines. Like, I think it will be much easier, despite the tower geometry and the landscape geometry being a little more complex. Cover pass wise, we just place a few more rocks down. I think we're set. But yeah, those are the main things we're looking at challenge-wise with this one. So what else I want to do is I want to keep making notes kind of similar to the short notes we took for Forgotten City of what big things we're going to change from the original version to the Lyra version. I want to make a top-down paper design like this one. I think I also want to quickly like sketch a side view of the arena. That way we can see the height difference, what we want it to be between the starting points, the lowest points in the map with the water, and then the height of the tower itself. It might be helpful when you have like a big vertical POI like that to do a side view as well. So we'll see how much time we have. And then these are the current phases. I could probably label them. Actually, yeah, so this is our blockout 1, for example, of Forgotten City. Very, very basic geometry, but it's all in there. Blockout 2 is a little more refined. We have pickups in, and then the gray pieces are the additional pieces of cover we put in that were not in the original game. Oh my gosh, they didn't line up correctly, no. Okay, I think they're all just need to be shifted down one. There we go. And then we'll call this Art Pass 1. I want Art Pass 2 to be, I guess, actually finishing it. But then also adding some foliage, like trees and some grass and flowers. And then a little bit of set dressing, so adding some more detail around the debris, adding some paths, and painting some stuff on. And then I do want to do a final polish pass on each, where we alter the pickups a little bit more, and we also play with lighting a bit. But that's, again, that's looking at next month, really. But yeah, this is currently what we're having with the initial art pass. I think I was getting too in my head about it. For some reason, I wanted, like, us to be completely finished and hands-off, and for it to be a gorgeous AAA looking, quadruple A looking map. But at the end of the day, it's a, I'm gonna move this over. At the end of the day, we're remaking a 3DS map, and I'm interested in the arena design of it. And if I want it to be prettier, which I still do, I need to give myself the time and the research on the best way to do that instead of just trying to brute force it. I need to actually, like, do research and learn from it. Learning. But yeah, similar pattern to what we want to follow with this next map. So yeah. Make the water hot spring. Make spiral complete. For now, using BSP. Cut out pieces later. If AI can use jump pads. Yeah, let's start. I think I want to use a pen for this. This is our darker gray. Let me break out. Even though we have all these reference photos, I'm gonna look where I spawned in here. I'm gonna make the outline of the map first. So yeah, we kind of have This is our initial start area. We have the sharp cut, which I might remove that because that's doing too much. Okay, the water portion's actually pretty long. Yeah, we've got this large water portion. Let me see if my cousin has screenshots of the path behind the tower. I must walk it alone. Oh my gosh, the characters, they move so slow too. It takes me a bit to move around the map. Yeah, I think it kind of loops a little bit up to form a border around the tower. So it kind of does like this. And then we've got kind of another hard edge here. Oh gosh, I wish I could zoom out more in this map. I think there's just a lot of sharp corners, it looks like. Got that, and we've got something going this way. Oh, I fell off the edge. No! Just go back to my original spawn and look at how this is handled. Okay, I think it's kind of like that then. Who is hitting me? I put this on level 1. Okay, I think that's the rough outline. So, as you can already tell, it's not super complex. It's just hard to reference on a 3DS with a top-down view. But already a little more complex than the square we put down last time. But yeah, we have like a start area over here and we have a start area over here, and they kind of both go in towards... Let's put down a circle outline. Is it a pure circle? I think so. Oh wait, no, not that. Yeah, I don't think it's actually too... It's the center point of the map, right? But I don't think it's actually as big as the landscape portion of it. What I like to do personally with my paper designs, I mean, everyone can paper design how they want, but I typically color code my stuff in a way so that the darker the color, the lower the height is on the map. That way, if you're looking at a top-down thing, you know at first glance what areas are taller and which ones aren't. Actually, let's stretch that out a little more. So I'm going to actually kind of paint in, I guess. Maybe I'll paint from dark to light. But yeah, I spent like, there was one project that, I think looking back on it, we were just in like direction limbo for a bit, but as a result, I spent like over a month or two just like redoing like paper design stuff and trying to make it as readable as possible. So I got to learn a lot about like just maps in general and why, like, when you look at just like a map when traveling and stuff, you'll notice a similar thing where cooler, darker colors represent the ocean, because the ocean's blue, right? So that's why they'll change to the cool colors for lower 2, because it's going to the ocean, the water line. Yeah, at first glance, you don't really even need a key on the map. You just kind of instinctually know, oh, darker color means lower, and then like the light tans and yellows and stuff, like those naturally read as the top of mountains. Green reads as like mountains into hills, into grassy plains, depending on the shade of it. So just kind of unspoken color language. Okay, this is dark. Good, good, good. Actually, if we lasso, can we just fill the lasso? What is the lasso supposed to do? Oh, that's just a selection tool. I'm not... Get on my face with that. Smart drawing. What is smart drawing? Ah! It's gonna autofill all of my stuff. No. Get out of here, AI drawing. Be gone. Reminds me of Yoshi. Yo Hold up, I gotta bring up Yoshi. Yoshi's sad profile. Oh no. Yeah. Level designers, I got you. I got you red-handed. What is this? Kid Icarus development team. I know what you did now. I definitely see it. That's him. That's Yoshi. You know what? I'm even gonna just... Oh, I'm definitely gonna clip that, but let's just keep him just floating on the Miro board somewhere. Just so that when I revisit this next week, I will have forgotten about it maybe. And I can't forget. I need to be reminded of that. Thank you for that amazing discovery. Let me restart my 3DS session here. Actually, I'll go ahead and use a dark blue for where I think the water is. Get outlines. I think there's some rocks in the middle. Probably not that big. But give them a nostril here. I realize, like, free-forming paper design. This looks like, if anyone knows, the hyperpigmentation meme. Is that hyperpigmentation? I fear it's her. Oh, this is good. This is good. You know, if only they made the water texture a little more legible. I'm gonna have to go down there myself, dang it. I think it's like almost like a crescent. It's like a rainbow shape, actually. There's a little land strip that almost goes to the okay, there's a little land strip that almost goes to the center. This like center rock here. But yeah, it's like the letter C around it. So let me try to... And then there's a little like uncrustable crust. Oh, I could go for an uncrustable right now. I must stay focused. Where's the fill tool? Uh-oh. Does it not exist in Miro? I might be thinking of a different... I might be thinking of a different thing. Oh, alright. We gon'... I don't know where the fill tool is. We doing this old-fashioned way. I shouldn't... Oh, wait. I shouldn't have... There's gotta be a way to fill on Miro. I'm not doing this. There isn't. Alright, well, we're gonna paint here. This is why I said we would just do paper design tonight, because we're just chilling. Just a little coloring in between the lines. Little soothing journey. I gotta run to the store tomorrow. I'm gonna try, I keep saying this every few months, but I really am gonna try to update our little food cookie corner in our Discord more and bake more. I mean, I have been baking more sweets, but I keep eating them and forgetting to post them to the Discord. I'm gonna try to see if the store has any of those like Pillsbury like holiday sugar cookies with the little designs. I'm gonna see if they have any shamrock ones. I'm gonna make a minor grocery run in the morning. I was also gonna try to get pina colada mix. But like the only one available at my store, maybe I waited too late, the only one available at my store has like a 1-star review online for some reason, and I'm like, I don't know about that. How do you mess up pineapple? How do you get 1 star on a pineapple? Like that's suspect to me. So I think I'm gonna try to make my own. I think it's just like concentrated coconut milk and then pineapple juice and ice and alcohol of choice. I know that's more of a summer drink than St. Patrick's Day drink, so I'm gonna try to get some blue food dye. Blue food dye because the drink's yellow. And I'm a genius. You may not you may not know this. This sounds like it would be a TikTok like did you know video. Did you know when you mix yellow and you mix blue, the color is green? That's because when you mix yellow and blue, the color is green. And the comments will just be like, nuh-uh. Or someone that genuinely didn't know primary colors, and you're like, oh. TikTok comments used to be like so bad they were funny to me, but they're like, I don't know if my frontal lobe I think it fully developed, and I just can't do social media comments anymore. I'm like, oh. Like, people are just like, they were just wasting their time on here, huh? It's horrible. I did finally, I've removed it off of here for a while, but for those that have followed me for a while, you might have caught the brief time that, I attached my personal Twitter to here once, and then I switched over to, streaming Twitter, and I don't use either anymore. I fully removed X, as it's now called, off my phone. Not quite as a New Year's resolution, but, I think right before my Disney trip, actually, I was like, you know what? I was keeping it on there because I wanted to, like, follow some, like, content creators and stuff for the Festival of the Arts, but they were all, like, reposting their links to other social medias anyway, so I was like, you know what? No one wants to be here anymore. It's, like, the most unreliable news source on the planet, and it's just not fun anymore. So I'm like, I technically still have the accounts, but if you've followed me on those platforms and you're like, man, is she ever gonna post her updates on here? I might start up a Blue Sky this spring as well when I start doing like more YouTube content and start kind of organizing our channel stuff a bit more. I might try to post on other newer platforms, but I'm not going back to Twitter anytime soon. I will open it up like maybe once every 2 weeks on my computer if I'm really, really bored, but life feels so much better without it on my phone. You walked into one of the annoying boss fights. I hope that won't be me. I don't want to be annoyed. I don't want to be annoyed. Okay, I'm gonna kind of semi-do these stairs here. Forgive my drawing. Oh my god. There's like a lot of new Zelda albums that were added to the our Game Chops playlist. I was like, dang. I got hit with like 4 different Fi's Farewell remixes at the start of stream, and I was like, almost didn't stream because I'm like, I'm gonna be in tears. I can't do this. But I'm alive. I made it. I fought off these sad feelings. I feel like I want to replay Skyward Sword really bad. I don't know why. That's been the one. I like really want to play Wind Waker and Twilight Princess as well, but since my Wii U's starting to give out, I'm just really hoping that Nintendo does something. Anything. Actually, let me see what direction the opening for this tower is. Oh, sweet. Yeah, it's like right about here. post this right here. But yeah, I think it's because I started like a test run of what a Zelda Legacy challenge could look like in The Sims 4, so I started with Skyward Sword Zelda. So I was looking at all her stuff. I always like to think that like the one me and my partner are the most like are Skyward Sword, Link, and Zelda. My Discord picture is Skyward Sword Zelda. And I don't know, I just had a really fun time with it when it came to Switch. It was never like one of my top 5 when it first came out. I liked it, but it was never like... It was never the Wind Waker, Link's Awakening, Breath of the Wild wombo combo that was. And compared to the 3D platforming Zeldas before it, which were Ocarina and Twilight Princess, I was like, yeah, it's alright, but I don't know, I just feel... Skyward Sword has such a special vibe to it, and that's the vibe I've been feeling recently. I don't know how to explain it other than I want that feeling. Why did my mouse freeze? Please don't die, mouse. Carve out a little space in here. Actually, no, I don't think it's here. I think it's... Actually, I should just go up the tower and see where this hidden jump pad is. Right, top, left. Okay, it's on the right. Right? Oh, because this actually stops at the top. So I just need to, okay, I just need to shift some stuff over a bit. Or really just I need to... do that, and then we'll put it... What shade are you? Yeah. We'll put that there. What did I use to mark our jump pad in the other paper design? Okay, just a pink circle. That's what I was gonna do here. Ayy. Give me a pink circle. You already want to break down in tears. That's gonna be me on... I can't believe it's this Monday. I might boot it up before stream, like a day before stream. I've been doing it where we've only ever opened Elden Ring on stream for the challenge of it. I may open the game and like... we just completed the first chapter, the tutorial chapter though, right? So I don't even want to walk anywhere. I feel like we're about to trigger another cutscene. Okay, yeah, I probably won't refresh myself until we're on stream on Monday. So prepare for the first 2 hours of Elden Ring on Monday to be like me complaining and like blaming my hair again and being on the verge of tears. And then for it to all be resolved, like, by the end of stream. I'll be like, oh, I remember now. So prepare for me to be a little dramatic. I have a feeling I will be. Okay, I'm going to use brown as our blocking color since that is for the rocks. I do want to put a little... We have like a flag icon. I'm not upgrading. What is this? I'm just gonna look up a JPEG of a flag then. Ta-da! That wasn't hard. Perfect. This looks like the Discord symbol. Hold on a minute. Okay, I think I want the highest point here to be this color that the jump pad level's on. I think I want that to be how high this back spawn is. Just had a wild hiccup. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've got about another hour. A little lighter than that. Okay, so this pretty steeply turns into, I guess, this middle level here. Which I don't even, oh, I missed a shade in between these two. Alright. Well, here, let me just, wow. Wow. No, I didn't. Incredible work. I've done it again. Truly. So yeah, we've got some stuff then at this level. Which I think is mostly for this kind of upper ledge right here. Discord knows Yoshi in the turtleneck. Insane drip. Yoshi, your drip's too fire. They're not ready. They'll kill you, Yoshi. Boyfriend got me one of the like strawberry drinks that's what I'm drinking tonight. So if I'm a little goofy, it's because I've consumed. I also had 2 coffees today. So if I'm a little goofy, it's because I've consumed a lot of sugar. Is this the Ballad of the Goddess? No wonder I want to play Skyward Sword. Subliminal marketing it's working on me. No, it's 3 AM, but I have a monster eyeing me down when I had Elden Ring open. Oh no. Ah, that's the college life. Not healthy. Consume monster energy especially can be, that's the dangerous one, so consume responsibly. But I've been there. I think for a while, because I started streaming in college, right? Especially sophomore year, I was in a really nice single dorm when I had first started streaming. So sometimes I would just do like random, I didn't have a streaming schedule really at that point. And I was streaming off my PlayStation, so sometimes I would do random like depression streams, or if I couldn't go to bed, I would just be like, you know what, I'm gonna stream. I think I did a few Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy X, and I think a few one-offs. I think the one-off I did was like, there was one night I just opened Sonic Mania and played it. My game ended. Let me see if I can find this rift I'm thinking of here. Okay. So it goes down and it goes back up and it's about the same height. Now what did I do here? Consuming monster responsibly. I mean, that's a fancy middle name, I'll give you that. I mean, I used to get bullied in public school for my middle name, which now kind of pisses me off because I won't dox myself and reveal too much of my identity, I guess. Not that it's a secret or anything. Especially since I just showed off my portfolio, but yeah, my middle name is like my great grandmother's, and she's Japanese American. She passed a few years ago. But yeah, she has a very beautiful name, but it's not your standard like Anne or Marie type of like white girl middle name that people would expect someone named Emily that's very pale to have. So I used to I had known other kids that like had like really nice either like two like last names, or they would write their middle name on stuff if they had the same name as people in elementary school. So I thought that was cool, so I started writing my full name on like my papers and stuff. And when people handed the papers back, I heard whispering. These girls were whispering behind me when they were putting the papers which may I just say, for like 1st through 5th grade, if you have the students hand papers back and they can see everyone's grades on them, diabolical behavior. No wonder bullying occurs. Like, you dox your students, essentially. You're like, hey, here's who's stupid and here's who's not. Horrible idea. But anyway, that's what they were doing. And they were like, who's that? And they go, oh my gosh, I think it's her. I think that's her middle name. And they're like, what's that even say? And like, they were being gossipy and mean to me. So I stopped writing my middle name on stuff. But then in high school, whenever we had a sub one day, and she was notoriously like a very mean and like very extra sub. She would go off whatever people said to do. Like if the teacher left plans and was like, yeah, they can just study, which she was subbing for our band class, so they're like, yeah, they don't have to take their instruments out, they can just study for like some tests they have coming up, which is fair enough, right? But she was like, no, you guys should play something for me. And she was like, take out your instruments, which is a bit of work and time to take out your instruments. She was like, just play something. It pissed me off. But anyway, this same sub was then like, she was reading everyone's full government names out, even though nicknames were written into the chart and stuff. She was reading everyone's full names out, so everyone was kind of chuckling or like nudging people when they heard their names. And she reads mine out, and the same thing happens. Like, people are whispering like, what's her middle name, like what is that and stuff, and they're like, so I'm a 4th Japanese. I'm like, it's my great grandmother's, you know. And I kid you not, one of my friends, some of my friends at the time, not the girly ones, for any like my girly high school friends, not you, I'm talking about like the lunch table. I don't think any of them watch, but just in case, I'm talking about the lunch table. They pulled their eyes back. they pulled their eyes back and looked at me. And then they're like, well, it's okay because we're friends, so I'm allowed to make that joke. I mean, I'm not active, not that I've blocked them or anything, because other than that, horrible, they're chill, but I'm not talking to them every day. I've got my own separate life now. I know. Yeah, the horrible thing is, like, that's just what I experienced for having that middle name. But I look a lot like my dad, right? I'm very pale and naturally blonde, and I've dyed it lighter shades of blonde scents just because I like the color. But yeah, like my mom and my sister look a lot more like my Asian family, and the stuff they had to go through growing up was just absolutely despicable. My sister actually does a lot of really good, her career work at the moment is kind of based around, like, helping out, Asian Americans and stuff. So she does a lot of good career work, to kind of overcome the assholes of the world. But yeah, that's just, like, I tell people those stories, and they're just like, I told my college friends that story, and they were just, like, mortified. They're like, oh my god. And I'm like, it's okay, I live in the Midwest. This is just how things are, tragically, some days. And they're like, it shouldn't be. And I'm like, yeah, it shouldn't. I was like, what you mean? But yeah, if I haven't said it before, I've said it plenty of times on the channel, but the world's a crazy place, so I'd just like to reiterate every once in a while that this is not a hateful community. If you have some sort of sexist or homophobic or transphobic or racist, like, agenda or something, then you're not welcome here. But you guys are all pretty chill. We haven't had an incident. What was the last incident we have? I don't even remember. So that's good. I remember we had a few creep incidents, but I was able to defuse those pretty quickly. Just a quick old ban, and then nothing else came out of it, which is good. But I don't think we've had some, like, horrible, terrible stuff going on. But I like to keep it that way. It was very important to me that everyone feels safe and like they can chill out here and just talk about video games. Most of your friend group has the exact same middle name? Hey, that makes it easy to remember. I will say my my middle name sounds a lot like a chain store. Like a retail place with a lot of locations. So then, those same people, like, nicknamed me that after the incident, and they're like, well, we can say it because we're your friends. And I'm like, I'm starting to question the friendship a little bit. I'm like, are y'all? Like, you keep using that word. I do not think you know what it means. Ooh, I should watch Princess Bride again. I just remembered that movie exists. I'll watch that again. Oh my gosh, what was the hidden middle color that I found here? It's not you. I wish it put my colors in order. Was it you? It wasn't you. Was it you? Yes. Oh wait, that's the same as... Oh wait, yeah, that works, because this is actually like another up, down type of situation here. This one's hard to paper design. We're gonna have to just feel it out in the editor, I think. There's actually a lot more of the light. Not you. Actually, yes, you. Nice in between. Yeah, this area right here, with all the like corners, this is the most, I don't really know what's going on here. Because every time I walk up here, I die. So I'm just gonna fill this in for now. And hopefully I can, focus on this a little bit more. Grab some more screenshots. Me and another friend in the group also have the same ex, which is the only boy you've ever dated. Never say never, Fluli. I was in a similar situation. Which makes it sound like a love triangle situation, but was more of just like I was trying to keep a bunch of friends together. But yeah, I remember going through high school breakup and being like, well, that's it. At the age of 17, like it was Bridgerton or something. I'm like, it's time to retire to the cat lady ways. Before I even graduated high school, I'm like, time's up, I guess. It's over. I'm very, very happy now. So never say never. And I used to roll my eyes at people that said that. Mainly like my friends and family. I'd be like, yeah, sure. Sure. Never say never. And now here I am. But yeah, high school friend groups. Insane. Like, I don't know how I lived with the level of drama every day. I also don't know, like, how I had the energy to do 7 classes a day, and each class tells you they're the most important class you're ever gonna take. I don't think any of those classes factored into my college degree. And not even a lot of my college classes factored into my current career, so I don't know percentage-wise how much of the homework I did growing up actually made an impact, sadly. I wish they taught me about taxes. I just did mine. I think I did them all correctly. It told me I did them all correctly, but they can change their mind about that, I believe. And just be like, you know, I actually know you didn't do your taxes that well. Say goodbye. I will say the biggest I feel like I was in high school during like I think like my junior senior year was like 2016. So like being a teenager in the like late 2010s, like I feel old because I see a lot of like kids on TikTok be like, if I wish I could have been a teen like during this era, and I'm like, no, sweetie, no you don't. Maybe compared to now, sure, but like there's gotta be better eras to pick also. But one like cool life hack that my friend group did was we had like the high school issued laptops. It was like the first few years that like laptops were a thing in high school classes. You used to have a notebook and pen, could you believe it? But you had laptops, and they tried to install like the like baby monitor software like on there, like the nanny cam stuff, and they tried to block certain things, but we always found a workaround. And on top of that, wish I could make this brush larger. But on top of all of that as well, you had to use Google Drive, right? You had to use it for class because you were trying to take notes. So we all like formed a like Google Doc that was like our text space. So we all we made like a little table at the top of whatever our Google Doc for the quarter was, and like we all would grab a color and stuff, and we would just like type in it, and like just whoever was speaking, you'd grab one of the lines near the bottom and just like actively type into who was on during like which period and stuff. And we would try to just actively keep adding to it, but sometimes you could mess with people and you could just delete their stuff, or you could just put a picture of a cat in there or something. And that's exclusively how I communicated. In fact, sometimes I would form like one-on-one group docs with like anyone special or any of the besties. It'd be like, I have a one-on-one group doc with them. I think I'm their best friend type of deal. Which I feel like that does put an age on me, right? To be like, Google Docs was the hot goss when I was a teenager. Early last year, and she vanished. No goodbye reason. Yeah, it sucks to not have that closure, for sure. I think that can be one of the worst things. But I also know genuinely sometimes just people need like a fresh start. The trigger doesn't necessarily have to be like their friends and stuff. Sometimes it's unfortunately collateral damage, which then affects your life, right? And can sting as well. Life's kind of a bitch sometimes. But yeah, especially as a partner, that really sucks. I think if you were gonna reform and take some time to like adjust in your life, you would at the very least, if there's one person you could let know, your partner would be the person to talk to. You had a doc like that? Let's go! Oh, I knew I couldn't be the only one. I also had a doc where, like, me and 10 other people, I don't know why we did this, but we rewrote the entire B-movie doc and resized it to fit on one page so we could print it onto a t-shirt. And I don't even own the t-shirt. I think someone, like, only 1 or 2 people actually printed it out, but I did contribute, like, 10 hours of my life, probably, to just, like, reformatting the entire B-movie script. Like, whenever we had downtime for, like, a week, we would just ping each other and be like, hey, can you work on the B-movie script? Like, all we did was, like, we made everything small, right? But what took long was we were taking out any spaces, and we were taking out any capitalization, and we were taking out any punctuation, so we could make it fit as small as possible. It took a long time. It took a bit. I felt a little crazy afterwards, but hey, I can say I should watch B-movie again, actually. That movie, like, never feels real when you watch it. There's, like, a certain, like, era of 2000s animated films that just they just feel so classic, but also you're like, why and how do these exist? Stuff like Hoodwinked and Barnyard are also up there. A lot of people will say Cars 1 is up there also, and I will argue Cars 1 is a Pixar classic movie. It deserves to be treated like a normal Pixar classic and not a cult classic. It deserves to be treated the way Incredibles and Toy Story 2 and 3 are. Like, when you think of classic Pixar, you should be thinking Cars 1. Cars 2 is a cult classic. That's Barnyard energy right there. A makeshift Discord server. Yeah, that's a good point, because I realized, like, I didn't even, I didn't even use Discord until I was in college. Which I felt like such a fish out of water, even though I went to college, like, pretty close to where I was living at the time. I felt like such a fish out of water because I had decided I wanted to go into game dev, kinda last minute. Not necessarily like last minute, like I decided before my senior year of high school, and that's all the programs I applied to were mostly like either game dev specifically, or it was like something related that to like media and visual technology and stuff, graphic design. But yeah, I felt like I was behind, even though I technically hadn't even started college, but because a lot of people were going in there and they're like, yeah, I've been coding since I was 2 seconds out of the womb. I went to a high school that had a bunch of money and a bunch of technology things. I've already made a bunch of like games and stuff, and this is just like to get into the AAA industry and to make it official. And I was like, oh my god, I don't even know where to start and stuff. So when people were like, yeah, just add me on Discord, I didn't even know what that was, because at the time it was still like mostly a gaming thing, and I didn't have a PC for gaming at the time. I was just a console player, and Discord wasn't on consoles at the time, so I was like, I don't know what that is. And they're like, oh my gosh, she doesn't even have a Discord. like Mean Girls, but it was the computer technology department, so the Mean Girls fashion was not quite there. But they're like, oh my gosh, she doesn't even have a Discord, so I had to learn what Discord was, and now I use it for everything. So I'm glad I figured it out, but still I was stressed, and I'm like, how am I supposed to do this? But I made it. I already recreated the whole GTA trilogy from scratch. That's what it felt like. Sometimes. I was like, can I even... If I haven't made a game yet before my first games class, am I already like behind? Am I already a loser? And some professors will try to tell you like, well, yeah, like these are people that really want to be here and they've been putting in the extra time, but it's about when you put in the extra time outside of class, but it's not about when you start putting in the extra time. Like, I think junior and senior year especially, I really started working on things with the mindset of like, not just this is a class assignment, but how can I improve this after class and after the semester's over to improve it for my portfolio, and where do I want to take it next. That kind of was the shift for me. We almost done doing this rough coloring. It's horrendous. This is horrendous, but I mean, hey. We'll put some of the rock blockers and some of the like chasms and stuff down a bit more too. I just want to have a basic— I don't think this will actually be as helpful as our previous paper design, but I want to have a basic idea of the different zones we're dealing with this paper design. We might have time for the top down. Or I might be able to like quickly sketch one, we'll see. It really does look like Yoshi, bro. Oh my gosh, it's Discord Yoshi. Nintendo! I know what you did, Nintendo. Speaking of Nintendo, I think, I mean, they probably won't announce the actual time until the, like, day before, I'm guessing. But we are going to, again, not this weekend, because I'm taking this Sunday off, but the following weekend, we are going to jump back into Tears of the Kingdom and our 100%. So the following weekend, I do want to do a longer, like, more focused Tears of the Kingdom stream, but the last weekend of the month, it will probably, I might want to start alternating, like, Sundays out for when we do longer streams versus when we do a shorter stream or not stream at all on Sundays, just to have a free day in my weekend that we can move around. But yeah, for the last Sunday of the month, I'm thinking that'll be our last stream before the Nintendo Switch 2 Games Direct. So I kind of want to make a bingo card and get like hyped and talk Switch 2 predictions at the end of the month. And depending on what time it is, as long as I'm not like actively in a meeting, if it's in the middle of the workday, I might have to really think about it. But if it's like falls at the beginning or like the end of it, I might flex my work hours that day because I really want to react to the Switch 2 Direct. And I know I work in game dev, right? So it could, even if I like, if it's at this in the middle of the day and I have like 3 hours left of work or something, I know people might be like, oh, just like avoid it and then just go emote only and react to it. I work in game development though, so whenever there's any gaming news, like it floods my work feeds. Like, if I don't watch it as soon as it drops on a work day, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. My chances were, I think the only thing I reacted to late that I truly didn't get spoiled at all was the Kingdom Hearts anniversary video. And that's because I had stayed up till like 4 AM to see what time that video would drop, and I was already aware of the event, so I knew what words to block. I bookmarked like the Kingdom Hearts YouTube page, and as soon as I woke up, I checked to see if there was a like VOD. There was. So I think that day I immediately woke up. I was living with my parents. I walked directly downstairs and into my office, and I'm like, don't talk to me for I'm like, I need to just like, I need to watch something for like an hour and then I'll be back. And they probably heard me like scream, and then I came back out. I'm like, okay, I can talk now. Like, I took no chances, even with my own family that doesn't even know what Kingdom Hearts really is. I was like, I can't interact with anybody. I'm like, I have a feeling they're gonna announce something important. I thought that it would be another spin-off game or like their roadmap or something, but it really was Kingdom Hearts 4. And if that had gotten spoiled for me, I would have lost my mind. I don't think we'll have any like titles that world-shaking and defining revealed for me, but hopefully some good stuff. Also, thank you for stopping by, Fluey. Get some good sleep. And don't let Elden Ring haunt you. Yeah. This is Yoshi, bro. This is Yoshi. I kind of do we make it Yoshi shaped? I almost want to make it Yoshi shaped for the actual Lyra block out. I've got to do. Can I change the opacity on him? Please. It won't let me. Bro, it's Yoshi. Alright, let's add some more rocks. Where are there rocks in this level? So this is why we'll do a separate cover pass, because what I'm seeing for cover right now is we've got a rock here. We've got a rock here. We've got a rock there. We've got a rock here. That's the cover. That's the cover for the level. There is technically a little more lenience because we'll be doing landscapes, so it's not just like these are the general zones for like where we'll start with the levels of the landscape, but it's very smooth throughout except for the intended like cuts, which I am going to draw in now. Just like a dark, just like a black, yeah. I think this one actually... Yep, this one goes all the way to the end of the map. So this is a sharp drop down. There is... Yeah, there's a little ramp up. And where does it ramp back down? I think it doesn't ramp back down until here, actually. So you can even fill these in a little more. This is a pretty long divide. Ow, who's shooting me? And then I think there's kind of one more steep one at the top here. Oh yeah, we pretty much have it outlined here. So I am gonna recolor some of this to make up for that. I'll actually keep this all... No, don't color over it. Keep that back part a little more elevated. This has just been a very rough painting stream, but you know, it's been soothing. I'm not opposed to it. I think sometimes you just need to color for a day. Rest up, you know? I think that other white goes all the way up to here. Okay, that was reading a bit better already. Why does this white not read as? That's the wrong white. Not that white. This white. Okay, I think that's working a bit better. I wish there was a blend tool, but this is Miro, this is not Photoshop. Okay, so let me move some of this stuff back to the front. We've got our jump pad here. Let me use a little line to a thin dotted line. So we know where that jump pad goes. I'm also gonna put, there's technically a small little like support beam here. So I'm gonna kind of line that up here. The middle's probably a bit smaller. Yeah, if anything, we could probably bring this middle part in a bit more. It's not this empty because it's a bit more compact. But for now, I think that's mostly fine. Let's put stars where we know our spawn points are. So I know there's not you. No, the team spawns start around here, so yeah. This is where we have, I'll just undo it with the highlighter in a bit, but this is where we have our one team going in here, our other team going up this way. You can go all the way around. Or for players, you can use the jump pad is how we'll configure it for now. And yeah, there's not technically, here's the fun part, there's not technically a defend the point, capture the point, secure the objective in this mode. It's simply just a fun sandbox arena. There's like a free-for-all, like, deathmatch mode, and then there's basically a enhanced team deathmatch mode. In Kid Icarus Uprising, but because they're not really competitive, because they're just a really like fun extra bonus mode with a few arenas thrown in, it's just they put a flag up there to set the mood, but every time I've played it, I've been like, I have to defend that. Like, this is where I make my stand type of thing. For no other reason than it's just set just so perfectly to appear as such. Now, did I think it would be Yoshi? No, I did not. Hey. So I'm gonna go ahead and group all of that. I'll move it up here. Let me move these down, I guess. Just keep Yoshi here for now. But yeah, that's currently, I do think I want to I've been like looking between the screenshots and between mine and trying to think of like playthroughs. I do think I want to study the very middle space here and draw a more accurate side view of the distance between the further spawn and the tower. I think that'll help me with the measurements a bit more, so I might do that a bit before, either at the start of our stream next week or a bit in the background beforehand. But yeah, that is currently the start to Spiral Tower. As you can see, how I go about paper designing landscape stuff is much different than how I go about paper designing more like firm block out geometry. But that's part of the beauty of it. It's a lot sloppier, yes, but that's going to allow us to be a bit more dynamic when using landscaping is the trade-off with that. So that's another reason it's fun to do Spiral Tower next, not just because these were the top 2 you guys voted on, but yeah, this is definitely one I want to have the ground be using a landscape layer, even in block out, versus Forgotten City being one where I was like, yeah, we're going to use a BSP mainly, and use a bunch of cubes for our first block out pass, and even stick to them. I've thought about putting a landscape layer over, and we might do small bits for like some of the grass areas, but otherwise I'm like, I kind of want to just like have just like a better brush for it. So this will lean a lot more into the other way you can block stuff out. Some people I know in the industry like only want to block out with like cubes and stuff. Some people just want to kit bash with established art meshes, and some people just want to do it all through landscape. I've done a little bit of both across like AAA, AA, and indie. I've done all 3 of those across all 3 levels of like game dev, so I think my favorite is I think my favorite early on is just using the cubes, but I do like I've grown to like using landscape for block out stuff a little more over the years. It's really grown on me, so I hope to show that off next week. We will be hopping in this level. I had it open in the background the whole time. Not technically this level. I do think I want each arena to be a separate map, so that way we can configure it. Maybe at the end of the year I'll try to configure it in the Lyra menu a bit. I won't package this up because this is for educational study purposes, Nintendo. I'm not planning on monetizing this. I'm just hoping to learn from it, and as a result I won't be like publicly zipping this up and sending it and making it publicly available. So if you're like dying to play Kid Icarus and UE5 and like AAA quality, I can't promise any of those things to you. Unfortunately, we just gotta wait for the real thing. But I do want to keep using this as a good study, so maybe I'll package it up and play it through all of them at the end of the year and see how that feels, and I'd be happy to play it on stream if we can get that working. But yeah, this is like, we didn't technically finish Art Pass 1 because these need textures on them, but other than that and the cover needs replaced with debris. But other than that, this is where we got over like a month of work on Forgotten City, 4 streams. Paper design, blockout 1, blockout 2, and art 1. So we'll be following a similar format and adding additional art 2 and polish phases to all of our maps moving forward. And we will be revisiting this, we'll revisit it next month once I have my computer more sorted out and have some more resources ready to use. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's stream. I hope y'all enjoyed just a chill prep stream under 2 hours today, but I wanted to just keep it brief and do just light planning for next week. And yeah, this already gets me hyped up. Even though it looks a lot like Yoshi, I'm really excited to see kind of where we go next week. But I am planning to hopefully do like this next chunk up through like art 1 of or at least up through blockout 2 of the spiral tower design stuff on Wednesday nights throughout the rest of the month. Hoping to keep them consistent. I know the work on Forgotten City was kind of, I was off and on like every week, either with travel plans or with feeling sick after those travel plans, or with my professional work and stuff. But I think I've got the availability this month to do these all back to back. So if you like watching these on Wednesday nights and lurking and chilling, or if you like watching the VODs the following days, then you should be in luck for the rest of the month. But yeah, that is our game dev plan for March and April. Otherwise, we're playing a lot of Sims on Saturdays this month, and probably going to continue with the life sim theme in general throughout the rest of spring into summer as we get ready for Fantasy Life I coming out in May. But for now, we're just focusing on the Sims franchise. We'll be throwing it back to Sims 1 on Saturday. And then no stream for this Sunday because we are playing Elden Ring on St. Patrick's Day on Monday. If you are in the Discord, I will ping you guys on Sunday like 24 hours in advance to remind you of the day off and also to prep for that Monday stream. So it's gonna be fun. If weather affects those plans, I will let you guys know in the Discord as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for chilling with me tonight. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening. If you are watching this on the VOD, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, week, weekend, whatever it is. And yeah, I'm gonna go bed now. I'll catch you guys hopefully for some Sims Torture on Saturday, or for the blockout phase next Wednesday. Peace.